Hey yo, it's Nook2 here with a new comic book haul. Um, First, as always, I want to thank everyone who's taking their time to watch my videos. I appreciate you. This video will consist of books that I've gotten over the last week. Majority of these books I got over Memorial Day weekend at garage sales and visiting an LCS or a couple of LCSs, and then a small eBay mail haul. So first book I got actually yesterday. It's an LCS, not really L because it's 2.5 hours away, but I've been there a couple of times before, and they have a lot of books. A lot of the books they sell at conventions. They don't really have. I mean, they have some books in their store, but this was in their case, and he said he had it for 3 weeks. This is a very hard book to find raw. This is Strange Tales 135, first appearance of Nick Fury, Jack Kirby artwork. I mean, there's iconic, but it is a hard book to find, especially in high grade. Now, this book here, I mean, the spine looks great for the age, right? The back is white or off white, but pretty clean. And I cried when I did that myself when I was bagging it. I was like, oh my God, it just chipped right off. There's a little small, I don't know if you can see a little small chip there that was there. But this I caused that. And then there was this chip here that was there when I bought it. But when I was rebagging it, this just bent and just ripped. There was probably a tear there to begin with, and then putting it into Mylar, it just came off. The seller had $150 for it. I asked him to take it out at the store, and that's when I noticed a chip in the corner. And so I said, he said that's why he had it graded, priced at 150. I was like, well, even for chip missing, that probably takes it down to like, a 4, maybe a 4.5, because it's still in great shape otherwise. And so he ended up giving it to me for $90, which I thought was, I said sure, I'll buy it for 90. It's probably not worth that now since that chip there, but it's still a great looking cover. Great condition for the book, and I'm happy with it. I mean, it's even hard to find a True Believers copy of that. I haven't found one yet, and um, and I'm actually surprised I haven't made a facsimile copy of that yet. But irregardless, happy to still have that for $90. Now, um, I did purchase a lot of run fillers at this garage sale that I went to. There's a garage sale that occurs every Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day weekend. A bunch of guys in the city, have started selling comics, and oh shoot, it's been 11, 12 years they've been doing this. And over time, other local guys have started selling comics in the same community. So you have 7 sellers in one, you know, 2 or 3 mile radius that are selling cars out of their garage, or it's not cars, but selling books out of their garage. So these main two I go to, I've supported over the last probably 8 or 9 years that I've been going. The other sellers that have popped up, I don't know what. Um, I just don't think they give as good of a deal. So I bought one comic from one guy, and he wasn't very friendly, and I don't think I'll go back to him. I don't like how he does business. So, but these books are from there, and they give great discounts. For the most part, I've come out ahead. Sometimes they do have some wall books, but most of their books are $1 or 50 cent or $2 their price, but then they give a steep discount, and they probably end up being about $1. So these were $2, listed at $2 or stickered at $2. I rebagged them. 37 Spider-Man, 36. This is from the Maximum Carnage series. I probably about 7 years ago one of the garage guys was selling the set 1 through 14 part for like $50, I think, and I passed on. I really should have bought it at that time. And now here I am trying to, pick it up individually, and it's been a little hard. I've still got quite a few of those to go out of the 14. Probably still half to go. Still looking for high grade books of those. So those were all near mint. They were $2 a piece, but I don't think I paid $2. Maybe $1.50 or $1. Amazing Spider-Man 417, and they give me a discount because I've been coming back for years, and they give me a discount. 417, $3.93, $3.92. Now a lot of LCSs will want $7, $8, $9 for this because it's a homage to John Romita, but it ain't worth nothing but $1. 386, 377, and 356. Now these are Mark Bagley issues. I left this book out because I wanted to show it, but this is Amazing Spider-Man 331. Now all of these books that I'm showing from Spider-Man, they're in near mint. Now this book here, Eric Larson did, and even though he's a fan favorite, because I think it's mainly because Venom looked okay, but I think his artwork's. I mean, look, Venom looks decent. I'll give him that. Venom looks decent, but there's something about his characters that they just seem small proportion. But his artwork is I mean, you look at Mary Jane. I mean, Mary Jane looks like she's crazy. She's getting smacked, but her character here in this panel here, I mean, it's one of the reasons why I'm trying to fill this run, because his artwork was so bad to me after McFarlane that I dropped the book, because comics then were $1. I think I was in graduate school or college, getting ready to graduate, and back then minimum wage was probably maybe $4.25, $3.25, and after you pay taxes, you're maybe making $3-4 an hour, and so I would have to work an hour to buy like 2 or 3 books, and so I was like, I'm not buying Amazing Spider-Man. So I dropped that comic for a long time, and so now here I am, trying to replace or fill those runs. So anyway, that's the story behind why these non-key Spider-Mans I'm still picking up. Probably to go from 200 all the way to current issue, I'm probably missing like maybe 15 books now, and so I'm slowly picking them up to replace them. Got this 220 Spider-Man. Looks pretty nice copy. I think it was like $5. $2.95 I bought. It's in VF. There's a few spine ticks that break colors there. Bill Sienkiewicz's cover. Sellers want a lot for that, but I mean that's that was I think I paid $3 for that book, and that's probably about what it was worth. $2.97. That was $5, and I got those at an LCS. Now these next 3 books, McFarlane's, I was missing. I have a graded 300, and I put a facsimile in the box to go in order, and so now I'm missing like $2.98 and $2.99 in the McFarlane run. Otherwise, I got all of the McFarlane. So I got 307. This was in near mint. This was a LCS purchase. That was $10, and that is in near mint. And then 308 also in near mint for $10. Now, I went to this LCS. I've been to a couple of times. Most of the time I'm buying books from him from a local Comic-Con. And so I have bought quite a few books from him in the past. And usually, I think his prices are reasonable. Now, these books were labeled. This book here was labeled at $50, and but when I went there, the store has these sections that are like separate buildings, and unless there's more than one worker there, you can't get into all of them. So this is the first time I've actually been in this second building that has Bronze Age, a little bit of silver, but mostly Bronze Age, Copper Age books for that are kind of minor keys, this being one. And they still had 50% off sale from Free Comic Book Day on everything in the store, and 25% off action figures. But the signs apparently should have been taken down, and so he kind of didn't want to give it to me, but he did. His comment was, well, I guess if I was willing to do it then, because they were his back issue stock, then I guess I can still sell it now. So he gave me that at 50% off, and so it ended up being $25. And so initially I thought, oh, that's a great deal. And then after because there wasn't good signal to look things up, when I got home, I looked it up. And $25 for a near mint copy is probably the going rate. So I'm at first I was really ecstatic and thinking I got a great deal, but in reality, I got FMV, fair market value. Now, and I did get this for $3, which I didn't have this copy, and so I went ahead and purchased it. I don't know what even though it's a first print, I don't remember this being the cover to my John Size Wolverine Old Man Logan. I'd never seen this cover. And so I went ahead and bought that for $3. I thought that was a good deal. And that was half off. Now he gave me 25% off wall books, even though the sign it said 50%. And so this was listed at $40. The Ben Reilly Ultimate Spider-Man cover, #1. And so I got that for $30, which I thought, it was reasonable. Now, the next few books I thought I did get a good deal on for being 50% off. So I got Uncanny X-Men 212. I really am not sure how I missed this book, because I was getting this Uncanny X-Men as a pull at my LCS at the time in college, and I don't know why, either I didn't have the funds to pick up that week or what, I don't know, but this was $17, because it was I think this was a $35 book, and it was half off, so $17.50. He had another copy that was a little bit cheaper that could have been $15, but this, because there was no this was in the highest grade, and so I picked that up. And I don't know why I didn't have this book, John Byrne 140 Uncanny X-Men. I think it's because I always thought I had that book, and so every time I saw it, I didn't pick it up. And then recently, as I was bagging some of the other John Byrne X-Men's that I showed, I realized I didn't have that. So I picked that up, and that was $20, which I thought was a really good price for that book, because that is in near mint high grade. Now, of the Uncanny X-Men, I thought this was probably one of the better purchases for $12.50. Uncanny X-Men 544, the final issue. I mean, this is in near mint high grade, and this is a hard book to find in near mint, because it was the final issue. It's all white. The spine is mostly white, and you look it up. That's usually a $25 book, and so to get it for $12.50, I was pretty happy for that. And that's that I did not have. Now this also was a great deal. This is my 4th copy of Teen Titans Go #1. That is in near mint, and I got that for $10 with the 50% discount, which I thought was also a stellar buy. You have 2 more McFarlane Incredible Hulks at this same LCS, 342 and 343. They were both $7 a piece, and they were in VF Plus condition, and so I picked those up. Miles Morales, Spider-Man #2, the Baldari variant, which I'd never seen before. He had it at 10, so at half off it was $5, which I thought was a reasonable price for #2. And then after I got it home, that's probably FMV. $5 is about the going rate. These I got for $7.50 a piece. Hal Jordan, Green Lantern Corpse. That was actually a good price. And I have that book already. I didn't think I had this, so I went ahead and purchased that for $7.50. And that's Batman the Red Death, #1. And then this was cover price at the same shop for $5. The Sokomaki variant cover for Power Girl. All right, so what else I got? All right, so at that same garage sale, city sale, I found some other run fillers. Amazing Spider-Man, John Byrne run. That's not John Byrne. That's Eric Larson, #21. This is John Byrne, #15. David Mackey, and #14. Now, I will say, of this run of Amazing Spider-Man of John Byrne, I did not like John Byrne's artwork in Amazing Spider-Man in this run. When he did Marvel Team Up, and when he, I thought his Amazing Spider-Man was great, but I did not like that. And then #6, and again, these were priced at $2 a piece, but I don't think I paid $2. I think I paid a lot less than that. And then I got this here, Green Lantern is #25. It was priced at $5. I think I may have paid $3.50 for that. Everybody knows the first appearance of Atrocious, as well as Larfleeze, right? Yeah. Now this was at $10. Alex Ross's Spawn 100 variant cover. That's a good price because that book is in near mint condition. And Secret Wars #5, Secret Wars 2 #5, first appearance of Boom Boom, and that was $1 actually. Now, what's interesting is that whoever owned this book previously, they had microfiber paper inside of it, which I thought, wow, that's a little extra. It was in a Mylar, which I rebagged because the Mylar was dirty, and it had microfiber paper in there. And so I think, all in, the microfiber and the Mylar and the fullback cost more than actually the book. Then I got this for $1, which was Superman, Wonder Woman, Darren Cook variant from New 52, #14. Beautiful Killer, #1, which I think the seller didn't realize that was in there, because that's probably worth more than $1. Adam Hughes variant cover. And this here, I think people always miss because he's not on the cover, but that's Avengers 326 for $1, and it's the first appearance of Rage. Now, and that's in high grade. That's a near mint minus. I have maybe 2 issues of that, but this is probably the best condition book that I have. Now, the seller had these 4 on his wall. This is also in the garage sale. So I went ahead and bought them. I bought Incredible Hulk 171, which it's in okay condition. It's probably fine minus. There's a bunch of spine ticks in there for breaks color, but it looks great in Mylar. And the reason why I bought that book is because I have the original Power Book record book, and so I've listened to that book and read that book so many times as a kid, but didn't have the actual comic, just the Power Book, which is a shortened version, I believe, of the comic. It may be the full version. I can't remember. So that's why I wanted that book. He had $25 on it, but I think I got that for maybe 10. And actually, I know I got that for 10. And then this here, 168, which is a beautiful copy. Incredible Hulk 168, first appearance of Harpy, Betty Ross. And so um, I bought that because it was in pretty high grade. And other than that, I just wanted the book. It looks beautiful in Mylar. That's probably a 7.5. And I paid, he had 30 on it. I think I may have paid $20 for that, which was a reasonable price. And then I bought another copy from the same seller. I bought actually Torchy #1 from him last year, and for $40, and that was a near mint, high grade. That was definitely worth it. So he had another copy, and there's a bend here, and so he had it for 30, and I said, I don't think I want another copy for $30 because there's that bend in there. But he gave it to me for 15. I said, okay, I'll take it for 15. It's a great looking cover, all white. Other than that, it's in. If it wasn't for this, which I actually think may be a printer defect, it would be in near mint. And then he had this. It's Jeff #1 first print, which honestly, when this book came out, I looked at it and I was like, I'm going to pass on that. And but then over time, Jeff has grown on me, Jeff the Shark, and that book is a $40 book now. But obviously, I mean, I didn't pay that. But that's what that book goes for. That book is a solid $40. And I don't think it's going to go down. I mean, there's multiple printings of it now. But, I think I ended up paying $30 for that book. All right. So what else I got here? So I got some other dollar books from another LCS. This was, and I got this because it was second printing. I like that cover so much more than the original printing. That's interior artwork. So John Romita Jr., his first run on Amazing Spider-Man I loved. The second one that he's doing currently, it's been hit or miss for me. But this cover here I really like. I mean, this to me shows me the potential of what John Romita should be doing. Great looking cover there. These next books are Adam Hughes covers. As you know, Adam Hughes is my favorite cover artist. Gen 13 Ordinary Heroes #2 for $1. This here I did get at an LCS. He had $10 on that, but I think I may have paid $5 for that. That's a great looking, Adam Hughes cover. Let's see here. And then he had $10 on this, and I think I paid $8, which that's in there mint. And so now I'm missing like maybe 5 copies of covers of Wonder Woman that Adam Hughes did in his run. And what else? Oh, and this is from that one seller at the garage sale. I'm not a fan of his comic shop that he has locally that he started selling also at this garage sale. I don't like the way he does business. I don't even know why I go into his garage. Sometimes I'm just thinking there will be some other books that I might want. I think this is maybe the first time I've actually bought a book at his sale. And he had $30 on this, and I offered him 20. He goes, I'll do 25. And he didn't even ask me if I was going to take 25. He just took it off the wall and said, okay, I'll give you, you can have it for 25. But there's that one crease in the top corner, but otherwise it's a beautiful cover. It's probably my favorite David Stevens, one of my favorite David Stevens covers. And I figured $25, I'll go ahead and get that. But that's probably the last time I go into his store. I don't even go into his LCS shop anymore because I think he's kind of I don't like how he does business. Let's put it that way. So the next books I'm going to show are all from eBay. So this is Shiver Super Stories Chills with the Adam Hughes, came out in December of 2024. I don't know how I missed this book, but I did. And that's probably a $20 book now, $15 to $20. and there was a seller that had it for $9, and so he had one copy left, and so I went ahead and bought it. I would have bought a few other books for him, but he didn't respond to combined shipping, and when I had other books in there, the price of shipping was like for every single book, and because it was the last one, I didn't want to miss it, so I went ahead and just bought the one book, and the book itself, with shipping, ended up being almost $20, so $16, which I'm just glad to have it. I probably would have paid $16 locally with tax, so I said, what, let me just go ahead and get that book. It was in such high grade. Now these next books were from an eBay haul, and the seller said this was an Adam Hughes cover. I did not think it was an Adam Hughes cover. I actually thought it looked like, to me, and I don't remember who it was now, it looked like Ed Benez cover. But I don't think that's who it is either. I can't remember who it was, but I know it's not Adam Hughes. But he listed it as Adam Hughes. So I was like, okay, maybe it is. Maybe it's him with someone else. And so I went ahead and bought it because it was only $1. And I was trying to take advantage of combined shipping, so I went ahead and bought that. But this is the book that he had that I wanted. He had it for $10. He took 8. It was the best offer. It's in near mint, high grade, number 52, Sensational She-Hulk. I did not have that. Yeah, this 192 I got for $5, which was a really good price for that. Because those Wonder Woman, Adam Hughes covers in near mint are going for easily $8 to $10 to $15, $20, and so that was a good price. I did not have this early Adam Hughes Nexius #1. That's the only one he had, so I picked that up again to take advantage of combined shipping. And then this, which I already had a copy of years ago, I picked that up. It took me a long time to find that book. Haven't come across another copy either. But to get another copy, and I only paid $2 for that. So I definitely would have picked that up in an LCS for $2. So I was like, yeah. So I got all 5 of those books. With shipping, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With shipping and taxes, it was $24 maybe. Yeah, I think that's right. It was like $24 and some change, which I thought was a reasonable price. So, so then the last thing I want to show are 2 figures, right? 2 action figures. This was a free comic book day purchase. It was 25% off action figures, and that is Ragman. I don't know why, but I've always liked Ragman, the character. I had a Brave and the Bold Batman, and I think it's the first time I've seen him, and since then he's always kind of fascinated me. They have a Platinum Chase one that he's in black costume, which I've never seen him in comics in black. This is a costume I know. I eventually will take that out of the box. But with the 25% discount, that book ended up being, that figure ended up being $22. So, and that figure goes for some. That goes for for probably about a year when me and my son we've been looking for it. I mean, that's hard to find. It's probably a $40 to $50 figure online, and so to get it for $22 and some change, I thought that was reasonable. We didn't even buy any other books than that on Free Comic Book Day at the LCS that we went to for that. Now, at the other LCS that had the 50% off sale from the signs that are still up, I bought one figure, and that was this here. Chamber of Chills, the Super 7 revision. Great Golden Age cover, right? The comic. And the figure, see it. She's got the cigarette in her hand. I don't know if you can tell with the lighting, and a glass, champagne glass, wine glass there. And that figure there is nice. I like that figure. Now, he gave me 25% off on this figure. And so this figure was $15. Probably even when it came out, it was still probably a $10 to $15 figure to begin with. And this is probably the most valuable one of the most valuable ones. And so that's kind of a stealth buy. That was $15 with a discount. Now they do have a glow in the dark one that goes for about $20, but this one right here will sell. I guess if I wanted to flip it, it would sell for $50. $50 easy. $40 to $50 plus shipping. I haven't decided if I want to sell this or not, because this is a hard to find figure with this version. The glow in the dark, there's multiple online, but this one with the color version, reproducing the comic cover, is an expensive figure. I mean, it's definitely worth more than $15 every day. So be on the lookout for that figure. All right, that's my haul. I appreciate you watching, and we will see you next time. I have some more books coming in online, some online purchases, and a very rare Facebook buy. I don't know. I've never bought from the seller before, so we'll see. I'm hoping that he's legit, because he has some other books that I want. But for right now, and I told him I'd buy, it was like $60 worth of books. To see if if they come in at the grade, because I've bought from Facebook only 3 times. This is being my 3rd time. 2 times they were duds, where the books did not come in the condition that I expected or was advertised, and one, it was a graded book that took forever to get in. And the seller was good. He kept calling, or not calling, but communicating, giving me the tracking number, so I know he shipped it, and it took a while to get here, but it did eventually get to me exactly as advertised, and I was very happy for it, particularly now, because that book is expensive now. But to get it at that time for the price I paid, I'm very happy about. So this is my 4th time, I guess. 4th time. 3 other times I've bought from Facebook, so this would be my 4th time. And so I'm hoping, I would like to see that I can get books on something besides eBay. So we'll see. Till then, peace. Keep on collecting.